What's up guys, my name is David and welcome back to the channel. On here I mainly talk about movies, but sometimes I do music related content as well. So if that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. The highly anticipated 10th studio album from legendary artist Kanye West, Donda, is finally here after an insane rollout. So I thought it would be fun to rank all 10 of his solo albums, not including any collaborations like Kids See Ghosts, which is right above me. If I were to include that, that'd probably be top 3 because it is excellent. But today we're just looking at his solo projects. Now just a disclaimer, this is a subjective ranking, this is simply my opinion, and also I am a newer Kanye fan. I got into him early this year and I've really enjoyed his stuff. However, some of the attachments that I'm sure some of you might have to his projects I don't have yet, but I love this man as an artist and I can't wait to continue being a fan of his and just watch these albums evolve in my eyes while I gain new memories with them and so on. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. At number 10, I'm sure all of you predicted this, we have Jesus is King. I don't hate this album. I love some of the tracks on here, like the opening track, Follow God, and Sela. Sela being a song I actually love way too much. It might be top 30 Kanye for me, I don't know. And I enjoy hearing Kanye talk about his faith and how it affects him. And more than anything, that is what this album is about. Some songs in here are very much worship songs, but at its core, this album is about Kanye and his personal faith as a Christian, which is a good thing because whenever Kanye tackles faith, it's usually pretty good. However, this is definitely his weakest effort to do so. At some points, this album just feels silly. I mean, you know, close on Sunday, you're my Chick-fil-A. Could Beethoven top that? No, but it's still silly for Kanye standards. Once again, you have some fantastic songs, but also once again, if you compare it to any of the other times Kanye has tackled faith, this is by far the weakest one and overall his weakest album, and it comes in at number 10. At number 9, I have Yeezus. Bound 2 is good. Like I said, I am new to being a Kanye fan, so I haven't had the opportunity to let this album grow on me. But just after a singular listen of this album from start to finish, I kind of find this thing obnoxious. There are some good songs on here, or bangers, if you will, but overall I'm pretty low on this thing, but I don't want to say too much on it because once again, I feel like if I give this one another chance, it might move up. So right now it's going to have to come in at number 9. At number 8, we have 808s and Heartbreak. Did this album change hip-hop? Yes. Do I enjoy listening to it? I actually do enjoy this one, but I think I appreciate it more than I actually like it. This album has a lot of history attached to it. Like I said, it changed hip-hop. That is an absolutely fair statement to say when talking about this album. And I enjoy the ballad-type songs and the overall flow of this album. Plus, seeing Kanye express the hardships he's going through during this time is a compelling narrative. But quite simply, sometimes I don't enjoy listening to the gimmick of this album, so it's gonna have to come in at number 8, but it's still like a solid 7 in my book. At number 7, we have Ye. This album is great. It is a raw and to-the-point project that explores Kanye's mental state at one of the most controversial points in his career. I respect this album tremendously. It is a rare, very vulnerable snapshot of his mind that makes for a great piece of musical art. This is a great record with some great songs. Yikes, All Mine, Ghost Town. Ghost Town will definitely go down as one of Kanye's best, and it kind of already has. However, this is just a personal thing. I don't put this one on repeat that much, so it's gonna have to come in at number 7, but I respect this as a piece of art so much. At number 6, we have Donda. Like I said, even though I put Jesus is King pretty low, I still really enjoy that album, and this felt like a grand version of that album and a better version of that album. And overall, I love religious Kanye. I love when he tackles faith. So this was just perfect for me. This was such a great album. It's bloated and scattered and sometimes repetitive, that's for sure. It makes Life of Pablo look organized, which is never a good thing, but it's scattered in a way that's so uniquely Kanye. I love it. Also, is hype affecting my opinion on this album? Yes, absolutely. I will own up to that. But hype besides, I still stand by the fact that Donda is a great album. There's just such a great variety of styles, and while the themes aren't honed down like they are in the earlier Kanye albums, it's still really interesting and I enjoy seeing them explored. You got a good combination of Kanye bangers like Jay on Off the Grid, also some really beautiful songs like 24 and Moon, with those religious and gospel elements being a through line tying this whole album together and making it such a epic and Kanye experience. Hype is affecting my opinion, but I can't say it lived up to the hype just because the rollout was so crazy. But I can't wait to re-listen to this album a bunch. I've already listened to it twice, but just saying a lot. I listened to this 2-hour-long album twice already, so that's pretty cool. But my main point is that 1, this is a really great album, and 2, it might be a little too soon to give my concrete opinion on this thing, but right now I'm really positive on it, and it comes in at number 6. At number 5, we have Late Registration. Just like all of the albums in the Higher Education trilogy, the production is fantastic and the themes are clear. You have some great tracks on here like Touch the Sky, Crack Music, and Diamonds from Sierra Leone. Also the iconic Gold Digger, arguably Kanye's most iconic and timeless song. Also one of the most emotional songs in Kanye's discography, Hey Mama. I don't have too much to say on this record because I haven't heard it that many times, but from the times I have heard it, I really really enjoyed it. Quite simply, this is a focused Kanye West record with great production and themes. What more can you ask for? At number 4, we have Graduation. It has a clear message with fun and explosive songs. The storyline is great and empowering. It tackles the idea of success and how there's really no right way to succeed, and how you can graduate in your own right. And the production and great lyrics make this album fly by and almost addictive. It's like trying to put down a good book or stop watching a really great show. Once I start this album, I have a very hard time stopping. Overall, this is a really well-made, fun, feel-good Kanye West album, and it comes in at number 4. At number 3, we have The College Dropout. Similar to Graduation, it has a simple and clear narrative. In this case, it is the hero's journey narrative with explosive and memorable songs. I love how the album breaks down into like very 3 distinct acts, very reminiscent to like an inspiring film. Plain and simple, this is a great record. Unfortunately, I don't have all too much to say on it, mainly because I don't have like strong memories with this album. Lots of people talk about like, oh man, I remember listening to this album in college. I wasn't born when this album came out, but overall, this is a great and very easy to love album, and these skits are fantastic and give this thing so much personality, and it comes in at number 3. At number 2, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. As we all know, Kanye is an eccentric and very interesting human being, and that is a massive understatement. But somehow this album perfectly captures everything about his life up until this point, and even predicts into the future a little bit. His last 4 albums helped create the sound for this record, and the last 6 years of his life were the fuel. But just as a fan, everything about this record is larger than life, including even the making of it. I mean, he made a short film to go along with it. In this album, Kanye tackles themes of fame, excess, race, the American dream, and more. This record is also very special to me because it helped me break out of a very narrow view I had when it came to music. This record allowed me to see that music can still be amazing and masterful even when it is larger than life and when it's close to like a movie. Music where it's just the artist and an instrument is great, but this is also great as well. I'm gonna go Fantano on you guys just for a second. The second half of this album isn't boring. I don't agree with his statement on that, but it's definitely slower, and that's why it's gonna have to come in at number 2, not number 1, just because the second half of this album is not something that I re-listen to a bunch. The first half on repeat all the time. The second half, not so much. That's the only thing holding this album back from getting that number 1 spot in my book, but overall, this is a masterpiece. So coming in at number 1, my favorite Kanye West album is The Life of Pablo. After debating this with myself in my head, yes, I have come to the conclusion that The Life of Pablo is my favorite Kanye West album. For me, it is the perfect combination of fun songs that I can put on repeat as well as rich themes and an exciting direction. I view Kanye almost as a film director, and the way he directs this project is so sporadic, but it ties into what this album represents as well as his mental state while making this thing. This album tackles fame, family, faith, and balancing all of these things, so of course it's going to come across as sporadic. It's polished enough for me to really enjoy this thing at any time, but unpolished enough to give it a unique sense of style. I think the flaw of this album being the sporadic nature actually helps this album, unlike something like Donda, where its bloatedness kind of detriments it a little bit. And through this direction, Kanye is also able to express his bipolarity before he was even diagnosed. The artistry and direction combined with just fun songs is so insane to me. I love how this album tackles faith, and in my opinion, I think it's his best attempt of doing so. I know people are calling Donda a better version of Life of Pablo. I could not disagree with that more. No religious song on that album beats Ultralight Beam, at least in my opinion. Or Saint Pablo for that matter. And Saint Pablo, talk about an underrated masterpiece. We need to talk about Saint Pablo more. Is this Kanye's best song? It very well might be. The lyricism might be holding that song back a bit, but oh my god, that song is a beast of just Kanye being artistic and creative and combining so much of what he wants to say in just to one song. It is masterful. Then you have some really fun songs on here, like Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 and 2, Famous, Highlights. This album is so stacked. And you have some really fun personal songs like FML, Real Friends. Once again, this album is a masterpiece. It's just such a great track list that tackles so many aspects of Kanye's life while still being a really fun album to re-listen to, making it my favorite Kanye West album. And there you guys have it. That is my ranking. Let me know in the comment section down below, did you agree, and what are your favorite Kanye albums? If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You can also check out my favorite albums video over here, and you can subscribe over here. That is all I got for your day, guys. I will see you in the next video. May the force be with you.